after that, smooth sailing. That's traffic on your hometown station, KHTS.
KHTS, your hometown station.
It is Santa Clarita's hometown station, KHTS. Hey, make sure you go to hometownstation.com for all the latest and greatest Santa Clarita has to offer. And speaking of the greatest Santa Clarita has to offer, we have the KHTS Home and Garden Show is coming up right around the corner. And here to talk shop, so to speak, is Sean Packer, and he is with Turf Group. You can go to turfgroup.net to learn more, or just keep listening, because we're going to talk about it right now. Sean, how are you?
Good, Kyle. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And you're the owner of Turf Group.
Correct.
So I want to ask you, first off the bat, how did you get involved with the turf game, so to speak?
So I had a family member, a cousin of mine, who had a turf business in the San Diego market, and just visiting with him one day, was asking questions, wanted to learn a bunch about it, and decided a few months later that I wanted to get in the turf business as well.
Okay.
And so,
how long ago was this?
9 years ago.
9 years ago. Okay. How much has it changed? It's been, and my parents, honestly have thought about it. My grandmother got it, I want to say, close to about 15 years ago, and it has changed significantly since then. She lives in Las Vegas, but you could, when you'd look in her backyard, you could tell it wasn't real grass, but it's evolved so much over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. I mean, the turf industry started with, the Houston Astrodome having Astro Turf was the first brand name turf, and so people know it from the Astro Turf days. But the quality of the products have really improved. The fibers have gotten softer, yet more durable. The warranties have gotten better. They're using 100% polyethylene fiber for most of these jobs, which is a non-absorbent fiber. So it's great for pets.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Backyards.
Oh, okay, so great for pets.
Great for pets,
okay,
right. Fiber does not absorb any of that urine.
Gotcha.
So the product passes through the system now into the soil below.
Yeah, and that does not mean if you're walking your dog and you see this type of lawn that you should stop your animals and use it.
Correct.
That is not what you're saying. But it
will not yellow.
But you could.
Or turn color. Right.
Again, we're speaking with Sean Packer. He's the owner of Turf Group. You can go to turfgroup.net. And I'm looking at your website here, again, turfgroup.net, and it looks like grass. It looks like regular grass.
Thank you.
And so what are the different types? If I'm going to you guys, what's the process of getting this turf at my house?
Okay, so the process is we remove the existing grass, cap off the sprinklers, put down a weed barrier over the soil.
Okay.
And then 2 to 4 inches of road base is typical. And road base is a class 2 road base is what it's called. It's a permeable base system, but it compacts really firm.
Okay.
And you can put the grass right on top of that and nail it down. Okay. Very similar to how they put down pavers. That same base system goes underneath.
Okay.
And if you have pets, we add a deodorizer underneath the grass and on top of it.
Oh, that's cool.
It acts like a filter, and when you rinse the dog waste through, it neutralizes the ammonia smell in urine.
Okay. Before that, though, before the actual laying down of it, what is the process there? Do you guys, you come out and see what type of turf you guys would want? There's different types, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And so what's the process there?
We'll come out and give an estimate for free, come out and look at the area, and then assess it based on accessibility and what work needs to be done to accomplish the task. The turf comes in rolls just like carpet, but it comes 15 foot wide and then lengths up to 100 feet.
Oh,
so you can put really big pieces in, but sometimes it depends on what the use of the yard's going to be.
Yeah. So it depends on the shape and stuff, too.
Yes,
yeah.
and the quality of the grasses, the colors, the shapes and styles, the performance, those are all factors we show the client. We meet with them so they can look at different colors and see what looks most natural.
And there's different lengths. So you my parents got when they did it, they had a longer kind of a grass, so it made it look like just before you would want to mow your lawn is what it basically looks like when you drive past their house now.
Yeah, most of the grasses are between 1.5 inches in length up to 2.25 inches in length, and they have different face weights. And when you hear of a number face weight, it's about how much fiber is actually in the grass.
Yeah.
And it's a number we all use to correspond how different the grasses are from one to another.
He's Sean Packer. He is the owner of Turf Group. You can go to turfgroup.net, see some of the amazing photos of their work. And I wanted to ask you, final question here. Well, actually I have two, but the other one is a little less important. But Long term, you're going to save money, right?
Yes.
Like, what's the financial benefit of getting synthetic grass?
So obviously with natural grass, you have watering and maintenance and, fertilizer and cutting it and all of that. So with synthetic grass, you still have some maintenance. It's not a maintenance-free product. If it gets a lot of foot traffic, you can brush it. If it has any droppings on anything on it, you can rinse it through, or you can pick it up. On average, turfs are warranted for 8 to 15 years on average. Life expectancy is more like 20 years for residential. For athletic fields, those are lasting about 8 or 9 years. Wow. But they get a ton of use, and they've got that, in most cases, the crumb rubber in those products, which also helps, the heat helps break it down over time in the sunlight.
So overall, you're looking at 10 years of not having to buy fertilizer or even 20,
longer.
or longer, of having to buy those products and water your lawn. And it may not seem like much at first, but over time, if you're not having to water your lawn, you're going to save a ton of money.
Right. And one of the biggest questions we get from customers is, what do you have that looks natural? We live in California. It's a desert landscape. There's so much brown. So we have a product called Mammoth, which has green and brown fiber mixed together, which looks really authentic. And that's our best compliment you can give us is when someone looks at a finished project and asks, is that real or is that synthetic?
Yeah.
So that is by far our best seller. It's a really plush, good-looking product. It's really soft, and a lot of clients like it.
Awesome. Go to turfgroup.net. Final question. You're going to be at the KHTS Home and Garden Show. What kind of goodies can we expect at the booth? That's really the big question. I know we'll have some turf that we can play with, but what are some of the goodies?
We're offering discounts.
Oh,
so come on out and sign up, and we'll give you a free estimate, and we're offering discounts on different products.
Yeah, those are the best type of goodies.
Those
the candy's great. Don't get me wrong, but discounts are a little bit better.
Candies and water.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate you being here, Sean, and we'll see you at the Home Garden Show.
Kyle, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, again, go to turfgroup.net to learn more about Sean and Turf Group.
Hometown, your hometown station.